3 numbers before the open. SK Hynix's new shareholder return plan just pushed the KOSPI broadly higher. Passive ETF assets climbed to 841 billion won this year, about $604 million, while active ETF assets rose to 321 billion won, roughly $230 million. And 6 Korean auto parts makers slid on weak overseas sales. Here's what's actually moving the market. It's Friday, August 21st. Here's what investors are watching in Korea today. SK Hynix unveiled an expanded shareholder return program this week, including buybacks and share cancellations, which investors read as confirmation of sustained memory chip profitability. The announcement came as Korea's active ETF market kept growing, even though regulators have yet to tighten rules following a string of excess return ETF delistings. Meanwhile, a cluster of auto parts suppliers reported falling overseas shipments, adding caution to an otherwise buoyant session. Here's what the numbers show. SK Hynix's shareholder return announcement lifted the KOSPI broadly on Friday. Passive ETF assets rose to 841 billion won by August, up from 771 billion won in January, roughly $604 million versus $553 million, while active ETF assets grew to 321 billion won from 277 billion won. Regulators confirmed this week that active ETF rules remain unchanged despite a string of underperforming funds being delisted. Amplify launched its BOM 10 Korean-style ETF strategy, a first for the local market. 6 Korean auto parts makers, including Robotics and Mando, fell on the day as overseas shipment data disappointed. Bondholder meetings still require physical deposit certificates under a 64-year-old provision of the Commercial Act, even though Korea's securities have been fully electronic for years. So what does this mean for market followers? Earlier, we said SK Hynix's plan was actually moving the market. Here's what that actually means for you. Expect continued rotation into large-cap semiconductor names now that buyback confirmation has reduced downside risk. Watch active ETF flows and the auto parts sector next. Unresolved regulatory gaps and weak parts exports are the 2 loose threads heading into next week. That's today's AI PRISM, Securities Daily. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a WAN-IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.